What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Big Tuddies Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your boy Sammer, hanging out with Tony and Poppy Latte, who's not paying attention to the screen at all. It is the Week 3 Fantasy Football Reaction Show. We're starting off hot, guys. It was an awesome Sunday of football. We saw guys explode that nobody would have anticipated exploding, including a fucking kicker. And, of course, a team down in Miami playing actual fantasy football and dropping a 70-burger on the Denver Broncos.
We had some football. We had some fantasy football.
We'll start right at the top. News, injuries, notes. Tony, Latte. What a fucking weekend.
Insane. I don't want to say what I want to say because I'm going to leave it for my tops and flops. But what a weekend.
Yeah, this is what we played for. You know, this is what we enjoy, finally. Like, a little bit of a reprieve from the injuries, finally. Nothing too serious, it seems like. And some amazing football, some huge plays. You know, this is what we've been waiting on. Maybe not necessarily the players we were expecting to do it, but some of them.
True. This morning, or not this morning, right before we got on here to do this show, Mike Williams news happens. He's out for the season. Curious what you guys think about that, just to start the ball.
As a Quentin Johnson owner, I never wish injury on anyone, but I like that I have shares of Quentin Johnson in pretty much all my leagues. Sucks for Mike Williams. Absolutely sucks. Yeah. I can't stress that enough. Joking, you know. I hope he has a speedy recovery, etc. It's just Quentin Johnson has to step up because Mike Williams is a very big piece of that offense.
And again, we never want injury, but at least he did. You know, he was nice enough to put up a huge line before he got hurt.
Yeah, I played against him.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I had to play against some just juggernauts this weekend too. But yeah, I mean, it really sucks when guys come out, you know, first drive and get hurt, but he put up a hell of a line. And you know, just showing the production there too. I mean, somebody's going to get those targets, and they do have talent there. So we'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. As far as I have the next one, Tony, and you can take the next one. The next one, Derek Carr, little shoulder injury. I thought it was a concussion the way he went down. Personally, Tony, I don't know if you saw the injury or not, but the way he got slammed, I was like, oh wow, he looks gone. But apparently it's a shoulder. As this relates for fantasy football, I think it's better for the pieces there because Jameis is going to sling it downfield. That's what he does. He was great for Mike Evans and Godwin the years he was here. Real life football, you know, he turns it over.
Yeah.
As fantasy football, Olave is going to get Tuddies. He's going to sling it.
That is the difference. And sometimes, you know, especially following us, you're going to look at things and you're going to, you know, you're going to see choices, maybe starts of the week, things like that. They can be great for fantasy and not be good in real life. And yeah, he definitely falls in that category because I mean, I like the pieces around him, but you're not going to catch me telling you to stream Jameis Winston because he has his instincts when he gets in trouble will cost you a week. I've seen it time and time again. And then sometimes he'll go out there and swing 4 tutties, and yeah, it'll be insane. But you just cannot predict.
Usually does it hand in hand.
Well, let's say their offense combination.
Oh yeah.
Their offense wasn't that good with Carr for whatever reason. And it may just be the coordinator, but I agree with Latte. Once you put Jameis in the mix, you're like, hey, there's a lot more explosion possibility happening for those wide receivers with him there. It just doesn't mean that the Saints are going to win very many games, which is very much okay with me, right?
What game was it, Sammer? We've seen all the Jameis Winston games. Everybody knows we're Bucs fans. But what was it? The game in LA, I think it was. He threw like 5 touchdowns, but he threw 5 interceptions. It was like, we put up 51 points, but it took a fumble, you know, returned by Sue to win the game in the last minute of the game because he literally just gives the ball right back. So yeah, great for fantasy.
No one can seem to groom that out of him either.
No.
He's done it. He's done it a couple of times. He did it against the Giants at home one time. He threw for 3 touchdowns in the very first half. Just the first half, 3 touchdowns, all to Mike Evans. Looked unbelievable. Lose the game. So, you know, it happens. Whatever. Who cares if the Saints win or lose? But I agree. It's got to be better for the guys around him, obviously. And Kamara's coming back too, so even better for anyone who's got Saints offensive weapons.
Olave to the moon. Do we have any other injuries, Tony?
Oh yeah, I can't wait. One little thing, a note to mention in the Chargers game. Derwin James did go down. He's got a hammy. I haven't heard anything about how serious it is yet, but it's definitely something to think about. He's pretty much the best piece in their secondary, maybe in their defense. So maybe firebombing the back downfield next week against them. You've got Jimmy Garoppolo, possible concussion. I tried to research that this morning. He didn't get evaluated until after the game, and then he didn't show up to the post-game interview or conference, so not sure what's going on there. You also had Gus Edwards, possible concussion. Haven't seen anything definitive on that yet either, but just something to take a look at. That's about it.
On injuries?
Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did want to touch on...
Pretty good week.
I did want to touch on previous injuries, Tony. That's okay. And then roll right into waiver wires, if I may, Sammer. Tony.
Actually, we're going to roll into tops and flops. But
tops and flops? Go ahead. We're going to go with tops and flops. I'm going out of order, people. I'm going out of order. Sammer.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. We're keeping this on track. Give me your updated injury news for week 2/3.
Go ahead and give you the.
Yeah, you said you want to touch a little bit on some injury updates.
So injury updates. Tony, have you heard anything? What's going on with Eckler? What's going on with Saquon? What's going on with Aaron Jones, bro? Like, these are big dogs, bro. I have these guys in many leagues, and it's like, what is going on, man? Last minute, they fired up Aaron Jones in practice. It's like, okay, man, he's gonna get some work here. Let's go. Then they fire up Christian Watson, then they don't fire him up the next day. Then you're like, well, he's not gonna play, but Aaron Jones is gonna play, but then he's out. So what the hell's going on, Tony? I need my.
It looks like both Watson and Jones should be back next week. Eckler seems to be coming along fine. I've seen that he's working out. Joshua Kelly didn't get it done, so I know that's also got people chomping at the bit to get Eckler back. I think he'll be back. I mean, the guy's got great work ethic. He's always, he's taking care of himself. He's doing the right thing. He should be back. But yeah, I haven't heard, we'll find out practice reports today, assuming, he's out there. He should be good to go.
All right. That leads right into the week 3 tops and flops. Such an awesome name because they're called the Big Tuddies Fantasy Football Podcast. I love that. We'll start with you, Latte, in a week, by the way, that saw massive explosions across the board. And like I said earlier, a 70 burger by an actual NFL team against another NFL team playing actual fantasy football on the actual field. So
could have set the record and decided to just be nice.
Yeah. Be nice. Yeah. You know what he said at the end of the game when they asked him why he didn't go for a field goal? He goes, "We're not out here trying to humiliate teams." What?
Bro, I'm really liking it.
20, bro. What are you talking?
He's easily my favorite head coach in the entire NFL. Love the guy.
Yeah,
he's a smart ass. All of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the smart ass shit. The running, away from the cameraman last week.
That was amazing.
Did you guys see the interview where he just he riffed on the day he was born or something? Because somebody asked him a question. Oh my god, that was so funny.
But the connection being that he didn't get a chance to interview for a head coaching position when he worked there.
And he was a ball brother.
Yeah, but even after that, when he was an intern and offensive assistant, they didn't grant him an interview when they had an opening, right? And then more recently, Sean Payton says that Tua is more than likely not going to be a quarterback in the NFL after week 5 or some shit last year. And then they both go into this game and go absolutely bonkers. I'll let you take it from there, Latte.
Well, that wasn't who I was going to pick.
No, I know. I didn't want to steal your thunder just in case.
No,
I don't know.
I mean, but besides picking the entire Dolphins organization, I'm not doing that. I'm going to go with my start of the week. I don't think it was his fault fully. He came to perform, threw for 367 yards and a tutty. The interception at the end was not his fault. Bounced off of Hawkins' hands, heartbreaking. But I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins, man. He came to deliver. As far as fantasy football, 37 points. I think he was QB2, QB3 on the week.
Yeah,
he brought the explosion. He brought Tuddies to the party. He brought Tuddies.
You only picked him because you predicted him.
No, I would never.
That's the only reason you picked him as your top, dude.
Never do that.
So many other better options.
He was QB2 on the week. QB1 was freaking Justin Herbert. What's wrong with picking QB2? He was my start of the week, damn it, and he delivered. Did he not deliver, Tony?
Not like
for fantasy, he delivered.
For fantasy, he delivered.
Watching that game, I could not believe it happened to them again. And then I think it's another. Is it another 0-3 battle?
It is
going on next week for them.
It is.
It's just he does this. He puts up these amazing fantasy days, and they lose the game every time. Vikings fans, how do you feel about this?
Tony, can you explain something to me or Sammer? If you have Jordan, you drafted Jordan Addison, right? You drafted him. I think he was the first round pick, right? Got high draft capital on him, right? Why are we still throwing the ball to Osborne for Christ's sakes? And he's dropping tutties. What is going on? Why are we throwing it to Osborne? And
maybe he's.
I think he only had like one target in the first half, dude. And then we used to joke about this. I keep referencing the Bucs. I'm sorry, guys, but it's where we go to games. It's where we see live football, right, Sammer? There used to be drives with the Bucs, right, where it was like, okay, that was the Mike Evans drive. The next drive is going to be the Chris Godwin drive. And it seemed like in the second half, Tony, he started like hyper-targeting Addison in certain drives. And then they would just go away. I don't understand. That's my only beef.
He's a rookie wide receiver.
He was open. He's way better than
He might not be always open. But you know what's crazy about that game? That was the battle of two teams that like to lose games. And they were trying to lose games.
Oh, yeah, the
Chargers did everything they could to do exactly the same thing that the Vikings ended up doing. Let's go crazy on the fantasy side of things and then lose the game.
Vikings tanking for? Like, you already got the best receiver in the league, arguably. Your quarterback gets
the Chargers just paid their quarterback. Why are they tanking? Why are they trying to lose that game?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with the Chargers.
Yeah, I don't know either.
They couldn't run the ball all game, and you go for it on fourth down on your on your side of the 50, bro. Like, what are you doing?
When you couldn't stop the other team the majority of the game either. What the hell's the point of that? What was that's analytics. And the guy doing the game was like, "Oh, that's analytics for you. I don't agree, but I understand it." Like, bitch, I don't understand any of it.
Tony, who's your top? Yeah. Who's your top player of the week?
Well, I'm gonna go with a few receivers. I mean, Keenan Allen. Speaking of the Chargers, had himself a game, and he's doing it again. I'm glad he's staying healthy. Keenan Allen, 18 for 215 and a touchdown, and then passed for a 50-yard touchdown. My man, like
that's insane.
That is hooking fantasy owners up. Just a great game. Devontae had a great game last night. Not a fun game to watch. But my boys pulled out the dub. But I'm really getting tired over the last few years of saying like, well, it was ugly, but it's a dub. I'll take it.
Tony, God. Do the Steelers even know who Davante Adams is? I'm asking for a friend because they left him open all night. It was insane. I regret fading him. I didn't want to draft him. I wanted no part of Davante Adams all offseason. This quarterback left, Jimmy G. He's older. I don't want any. And now I'm like, damn it. If I would have drafted him instead of Garrett Wilson, I'd be sitting in a different spot right now. I'd be sitting pretty.
Yeah, Devontae's just a stud, man. It doesn't matter where he goes. He's in my book. I have never seen a better turnaround in a receiver. He's the most improved player I've ever seen. I mean, that Josh Allen's in that category too. But my God, he's gone from worst to first, and he is amazing. I was shocked I think it was late third, early fourth last night when he dropped that ball. I was like, Devontae. What? I don't want to see you catch it, but and I think they're starting to. I think teams are starting to figure out that the Steelers defense or Steelers offense is not able to assemble anything consistent, and our defense is just like on the field the entire time. We ran out of gas at the end of the game, I think, and I think once we get to that point, you start to see these big chunk plays. Devontae's open. Hunter Renfrow actually found a couple targets last night. They just run out of gas. We can't keep staying. I mean, if our defense is on the field 4/5 of the game, what are we supposed to do
in the first quarter, Tony? All right.
Oh, he was.
I know
he's a great receiver,
but listen, they suck.
Hey, we went through that. Sammer. Our defense being on the field all the time. We know. We know.
They weren't on the field for long when Devontae caught that touchdown in the first quarter. So,
And we do have to mention, if we're talking about tops, we got to mention Miami backfield. Raheem Mostert was my start of the week at running back.
Came through.
Holy crap! I mean, 375 total yards.
Anybody have A-Chain on the bench? Ouch.
8 touchdowns.
Ouch.
Eight.
And anybody on the show have A-Chain on the bench?
Dude, you did. All right. So they had a 300-yard passer. They had 2 150-yard rushers and a 150-yard receiver and 2 running backs to go over 100 yards. Is that right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
One of them go over 200 yards, or am I
No, it was
mistaken here?
Yeah.
It was like,
yeah.
oh, it was-
A-Chain went 203 on the ground.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's what that
And that's without Waddle.
from a guy
No Waddle.
From a guy they said was going to be a gadget, undersized, change of pace, little scat back. What was, bro? Hey, McDaniels was dealing. Tua was dealing. A-Chain, they were on fire, bro. Sammer texted me. We have a little group text going on, right? And Sammer texted me. He's like, bro, he did a bootleg, no-look pitch back. Like, what?
Oh, yeah.
That is.
They called a fake reverse no-look shovel pass, okay? and you know what's crazy is you told me pregame, listen, I wouldn't sneeze at the Denver's defense. What? I would shit on them.
Defense is traditionally pretty good, right, Tony? Am I wrong? I didn't expect 70.
They were embarrassed. They were humiliated.
Let me see if I can get this right. So at the end of the game,
It was bad.
you had a garbage time touchdown by a player that was on the bench last week, a receiver who burned Surtain. Their best player on their team.
With the backup
I don't know.
With the backup quarterback.
With the backup quarterback.
With the backup quarterback.
What? I don't know what happened to Denver yesterday, but there definitely needs to be some changes.
His name is Chosen.
Oh, yeah. That's so stupid.
Chosen.
Anyway, listen, you guys gave your
Isn't it
tops,
funny how...
But you guys are being disrespectful.
Oh, hold on. Isn't it funny how what Tony?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, isn't it funny how his name is Chosen, yet he changed his name 3 times to be Chosen?
Yeah.
He didn't know he had been chosen yet. That's why. And then once he was chosen,
that's what it
then
was.
his name changed.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just wondering, is anybody...
It was like an anointing.
Is anybody going to chosen him? Did anybody chosen him? I didn't chosen.
The Dolphins didn't even chosen him. That's why he was playing in the fourth quarter of a massive blowout. So
Are we going to flops?
You guys are being extremely disrespectful before we move on to flops, okay? You guys haven't even mentioned my boy Matt Gay. 24 points as a kicker, okay?
Pretty insane.
That is a tops mention worthy. I mean, come on. 24 from a kicker and the game-winning
This is the type of shit, Sammer, we need interns for so they can look up how many position players he outscored. Like, how many running backs did he outscore?
He outscored both of my running backs.
That's really the only significant... What?
He outscored both of my running backs, okay? Both.
Who are your running backs?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I had to start Stevenson and Pacheco.
Checo.
I think I got 10 from one of them and 7 from the other, and then Matt Gay just
wait. So
trots on in there and kicks 24
combined.
Yes, that's what I said. And this guy trots on in and kicks 24 points worth of fantasy. What? Get out of here. Absolutely worth mentioning on the tops. You guys are disrespectful.
I want to see Sammer's up.
Waiver wire pickup of the week, Matt Gay.
He's been my guy. I've been drafting him for the last 3 years since we had him on the other pod.
Friend of the program.
Hell yeah, friend of the program. All right, we got the tops out of the way. Put the tops back on, guys. Flops of the week.
Nobody likes flops. Nobody likes flops. We like perky tops. Nobody likes flops. Listen,
we got to discuss them though. So
I'm not picking one individual. I'm gonna pick a front office, a coaching staff.
Ooh.
We need to bail out and let 17 and all other position players out of jail. Out of the Zach Wilson jail. The Jets. What are we doing here? What are we doing? It's like he's playing. Wilson. It's like he's playing another sport. It's not the same. He looks that horrible. You got players arguing on the sideline. Garrett Wilson's about to lose his shit. You got Michael Carter losing his shit. You got defensive. Like, it is bad in New York right now. It is toxic. You got Matt Ryan reaching out. They're like, nope. You got Carson Wentz reaching out, and I'm nope. You know what? It can't get any worse than Zach Wilson. That is
he
just
throws a
bad.
real pretty spiral out of bounds.
He does. Does do that.
But who's he going to start? Who are they going to start, Latte? That's
I just told you, Carson Wentz reached out, Matt Ryan reached out. You got to do something. You're going to lose the locker room, Sammer. You can't do that. You got players fighting with coaches. You can't do that, bro.
You say Matt Ryan?
I don't care. Bro.
Matt Ryan just came out before we started recording the show and said, I did watch, but let me get to what I'm saying. Matt Ryan just came out before we hopped on here and said, I am not coming out of retirement. Okay, to Carson Wentz,
they said that he
both of his
out
ankles. No, Carson Wentz twisted both of his ankles on the same play when he played for the Colts. Okay, that guy's not a quarterback that's going to, even with Wilson. Okay, he's not better than Zach Wilson, and that says a lot.
Sammer,
okay,
listen,
that says a lot.
Listen to me.
My point is, they don't have another option, so they're like,
no,
sorry,
no, I don't believe it. That doesn't mean you just stop trying. No, Sammer,
they are trying.
You can go out there and play better. Listen, it's not that hard. Just find 17, bro. Find 17 on one of the last plays of the game. You saw him kind of look towards the left. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, Tony. And then he just and just throws it like completely out of bounds.
Dude, he's got.
Garrett was.
Do we want to talk about that Garrett Wilson floor again?
Yeah, but Latte, the thing is, his offensive line, he's terrified. I think anybody you put back there is going to be terrified if they're not Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, or who else? Patrick Mahomes.
Are you saying they should go trade for Russ? Let Russ cook?
I'm just saying those three dudes come off top of my dome. I mean, obviously you could probably put Deshaun Watson and then you could put Lamar Jackson, but those five guys in the entire league who'd survive behind that offensive line. And
okay, Sammer. There's rumors that have been out there. I'm gonna. I love both your opinions on this. There have been rumors that if the Vikings went 0-3, they could possibly. There was rumors in the offseason that they might have traded for Cousins, for Trey Lance, etc. What are your thoughts, both of you, on Kirk Cousins possibly being traded and possibly being traded to the Jets? I mean, he's a free agent after this year, so the Jets can literally just do their thing for the rest of this year. See you later, Kirky. Go wherever you want, and Aaron Rodgers is healthy. Are you doing it if you're the Jets? Or are you just tanking and saying, the hell with it? Let's go get a good draft pick, a good offensive lineman for Aaron. What are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like they were ready to go contend, and everything's just been thrown out. Everything out.
Yeah. That's a weird line to walk, too, because, you're looking at trying not to lose the city, because they're pretty upset. It's hard to take the devastating injury plus have to sit and watch this all season. But at the same time, they already committed a bit to Aaron, and you go out and you get Cousins, you're going to have to pay him too. Plus, he's not extremely mobile. What happens to Cousins behind that line? Can he salvage a game? I mean, look at what Cousins doing. He's losing games right now, and he's got every weapon you can imagine around him. I don't know. That's a tough decision, a real tough decision.
I don't think you can bring in a Kirk Cousins and then if he has success, now you have an Aaron Rodgers and you have this Kirk Cousins mess.
True.
On top of that, right?
Yeah.
Not that anyone's going to
this year. It's Aaron Rodgers.
I get that, but then you're putting capital into a wasted season either way. You're not going to win the Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins, so what's the point of giving up anything for that, right? Now it's 2. I mean, they're basically the same team they were last year. So why is this such a massive problem? Your guy that was supposed to take you over the top hurt his Achilles. Okay, so we're going to go back to being 2022 Jets. How is everyone out? Why are they so mad? I understand, but the guy got injured. And the team that was there before him is still there. You sat through this for how many years?
You know why, Sammer? Because last year they had Joe Flacco at least. It made it at least watchable, at least respectable, dude.
It's in their best interest to lose all the games, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, go tell Garrett Wilson and Michael Carter and Breece Hall and all those guys that are laying it down on the line in that defense every game. Go tell those guys that, hey guys, so Aaron got hurt. We're not even going to try.
I get it, but they understand that too. Think about that. They're like, guys, we're obviously not going to win the Super Bowl. Let's go get an offensive lineman like Tristan Wirfs.
Those guys
and make sure our guy.
About that.
I understand.
You know better. Those guys don't and give a crap about that. Number one. Number two. Fine. Let's say they stay with what you guys are predicting, which is probably what's going to happen, right? Then I'm watching every single Jets game. Because at one point this season, somebody's going to fucking Antonio Brown and just walk the fuck off the field, bro. And it's poetic that AB did it at MetLife, right? Somebody's going to walk off the field, bro, or a brawl's going to break out. They have a full-blown mutiny on their hands, bro.
I don't know, man. I think that the players are so they respect the coaching staff. We saw a lot of that stuff behind the scenes with the HBO special
Hard Knocks.
Hard Knocks. So I don't see guys going out there and giving less effort. I think they're all still kind of bought in, but the reality is the reality. We lost if the Patriots 10 years ago lost Tom Brady like they did once, Everyone in that building is still going to try, but they know, like, hey, this is what it is.
Sammer, guess what? Who was it? Was it Matt Castle or was it Jimmy G? They had a competent backup. Zach Wilson.
They had a good coaching staff, though. All those guys left and didn't do anything.
Real question. Is Zach Wilson a starter in the XFL?
No.
I don't see it, bro.
Why haven't they reached out to the dude from the St. Louis XFL team?
I don't know. He'd be better. Okay, let's move on to Tony's flops. But real quick, before we do, Tony and Sammer, last one out of me. Garrett Wilson, rest of the season. Is he startable?
I don't know.
He's startable, yeah.
And
but
flex?
like we saw, his floor. What did he end up with? He 5 for 48.
5 for 48
this week.
Tuddies on 9 targets, and probably made some incredible catches on some of those 5. So the other 4 were uncatchable, and then he probably made some stupid, acrobatic catch on the other.
And I will say on the other side of the ball,
Green's got a good defense.
I think, yeah, they got a good defense, and I think they played well. Now I will give you guys, I'll buy either one of you a steak if you can tell me right now. Who scored the lone touchdown for the Jets without looking?
I don't know, man.
Hold on. I was watching.
Come on, you got if you get this, I swear to God.
Who the fuck?
Nick Bowden. I don't even know exactly how to pronounce his last name. It's the fullback. Went 1
That's
for
right.
1 for 1.
That's right. The fullback.
That's what you can expect from the Jets. No rhyme or reason.
Okay.
Nobody listen to me. I called that guy too.
Okay.
I called it.
Sammer.
Actually, you
Sammer.
were you had some premonitions on X this weekend or Twitter.
He always does, bro. He called the
Been on
Saints.
it.
He called the Saints collapse. I mean, he's just, I don't know what's going on. Listen, if you guys need picks, you need to bet something, hit up Sammer, follow him on Twitter at Sammer Ali, because he has been on one. He literally looked at me, Tony, I'm not kidding, 30 seconds before the pick 6 against the Bears that Shaq Barrett got. He said, pick 6. I said, okay, whatever, Sammer. That's the 1 yard line, bro.
That was the DFS channel coming
the last play. That was the last play I had. Before that, I looked at you guys on 3rd and goal before we scored our first touchdown. I said, they spread the offense out. They're going to call a running back draw here.
And they
running back draw, touchdown. Before that, Bears go into like a 3 wide receiver bunch on the left-hand side on 3rd and something. I go, that's going to be a wide receiver screen. Wide receiver screen gets thrown. I mean, listen, I've been on a fucking heater. I will admit.
That's fair. But Sammer,
I have the sports almanac. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, he has it from Back to the Future. Tony, Garrett Wilson or Drake London the rest of the season?
I'm going to go Drake London.
Okay.
Sammer. Every week you ask us about Drake London, I feel like.
Sammer.
Is that a thing now?
He's getting involved now.
Sammer. Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, here it is.
Ritter looks like shit,
Drake
though.
London
Flop.
question.
Hey.
What?
Garrett Wilson or a flop this week, Jahan Dotson? Rest of the season.
Ooh.
I play Wilson just because he's a playmaker. He's a dog. He's just going to eventually, like, if he doesn't get the ball, eventually he'll have a temper tantrum, and then they'll give him the ball 12 times in one game. And
he had plenty of temper tantrums yesterday. He had 9 targets.
Yeah, so he's just a dog. You got to take the guy who's always a dog. That's all.
That kind of leans me into my quarterback flop, because I feel like both of them are sitting in the corner right now in timeout. Sam Howell.
Ooh,
man, I mean, last week came out, looked pretty good, and I think
ugly.
I mean, I think a kid's got some skills. I really do. I think that there's a quarterback in there somewhere, but came out and, my God, 4 interceptions, took 9 sacks, and pretty much, just tanked the whole offense.
He looks like Tony. He looks like, people may attack me, looks a little like Josh Allen this first year. Little skittish, taking
could be
running the
because
ball, taking unnecessary hits. It's like, what are you doing?
I can see the arm.
Yeah,
mobile.
Looks like Carson Wentz to me, man. I think they understood what they were doing. They're like, there's 2 sides of this coin. Either he's amazing and surprises everybody, or he's terrible and we get a nice draft pick. Let's go. That's why they rolled the dice.
And Antonio Gibson, dude. If anyone has Antonio Gibson rostered, drop him.
Yeah.
I mean, number 1 rule as a halfback, hold on to the ball, and he cannot seem to follow that rule at all. He's got to be dropped. The other guy, I think Brian Robinson, didn't have a great game, but
tough defense though.
The eye test, I'm looking at Brian Robinson, man. He looks like a good running back. I mean, I really think he's solid. I think they can hold on to him. I think he's got the ability when they get the offense together. But yeah, this back and forth every week. This week we're doing it. This week we're not. We don't. Bills defense is tough. Did you guys see the what's his name? Epinesa? Did you see his pick six?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, it was late in the game. Go back and check it out, man. It was one of those where he's like, it's like a guy basically standing 5 feet from a jug machine, where he just jumped up and ended up like, just kind of.
Yeah, I saw
you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
It was nice.
On the Brian thing, I think on the Brian Robinson thing, I think it's game script, right? They were down. Homeboy was turning the ball over like he was giving away Oprah,
sure.
Giving away. You get a pick. You get a pick. Everybody gets a pick. Sam Howell just had a meltdown. So that you're going to eliminate Brian Robinson there, right? He can catch it out of the backfield, but he's not Antonio Gibson, which is probably why they went more to Antonio, because they had to pass it because they were down by so much. And honorable mention on top, Buffalo Bills defense, 50 points. Wow. What happened to the reigning defending top Tuddy defense, Dallas? Sammer?
That's my honorable. I'm here for the honorable mentions. And that entire Dallas Cowboys team was my honorable mention for flop of the week. Absolute crap. Hilarious to watch, especially if the Cardinals end up being only a 1-win team, and it's that one game that was against the Dallas Cowboys. Holy crap. So great. That was awesome to see. And of course, everyone knows the top flop of the week was the New Orleans Saints going up 17-0, entering the fourth quarter, and somehow losing 18-17. 18 unanswered points to a team that was basically trying to lose the entire afternoon. Awesome. All right.
Hey,
you guys done with your tops?
Sam, real quick. Speaking of trying to lose, did the Cardinals lose the script? Because I know you know people. You know people over on.
They tried. They tried their best to lose the game. The Cowboys were like, "Oh no, we have nothing to do with this. We're not helping you with anything."
They don't want them to get Caleb Williams and Marvin because they're like, well, you guys will be unstoppable.
Sounds like Jerry Jones called down and said, don't let those some bitches get any Caleb Williams. You understand me? I don't care who's America's team. We don't allow anyone to win a draft pick, not on my damn watch. He didn't allow it.
Is that you?
He wasn't going to allow it.
Jerry Jones.
I think it also opened up kind of pulled the curtain back a little bit on the Dallas offense, Mm-hmm. Goes to show, if that defense isn't out there acting like world beaters, are they really Super Bowl contenders?
Pollard didn't look very good either.
I think they might be missing a little ground and pound. Little. They have the Lightning and Pollard. They're missing the Thunder this year. They don't have that big back that can just grind out yards. I like
their O-line is not special. That's the thing. They're not very good on that side of the ball. And then having a defense that gets you turnovers and short fields and all that stuff has masked a little bit of that. So.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a team ride it through the Super Bowl though before with the Carolina Panthers when they weren't an amazing offense, but they were given 67% of their possessions on the other side of the 50.
I get exactly what Sammer's talking about, Tony. I mean, when
we watched Von Miller win a Super Bowl too.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I get where Sammer's coming from though, Tony, because when you're a team like Dallas skating on your defense and you go face a real team like the Cardinals, you're going to get exposed.
Well, I'm kind of feeling that in Pittsburgh right now. It's if our defense can't keep gas in the tank, it's really bad looking.
Hey, I like your boy though. Pickett can play ball. He just loves ball, and I think guys that love ball eventually they find success, and I like that about him. So. I
love that about him, Sam, and I agree with you. I'm not saying this just because this is the unbiased side of it, right? Because we don't want Tony to speak on it. I like Pickett. I think they just got to get the running game going. They got to sustain some drives, give the defense a little rest. Take a page out of the Buccaneers book. You know what I'm saying? Let the defense rest a little.
They need to bench Najee Harris is what they need to do.
Just move on, bro. He's the short yardage guide from now on. That's it.
I've seen it for over a decade now, too. Cam makes such a huge difference. I mean, we need Cam back. Yeah. He really is the heart of the offense. Even when Ben was in his prime, Cam goes down for a couple games, it shows.
Yeah.
All right, so got through our tops and flops. Week 3, basically in the books. Who are the waiver wires that guys you guys are looking at? We'll start with you, Tony. Maybe give me 2, and Latte will get your 2 waiver wire targets of the week.
I don't. Out front, I'm saying it right now. I don't have much for the waiver wire this week. Tony?
Waivers are tough this week. We're gonna post some stuff. So I mean, we got 2 more games tonight, and I haven't even been able to go through and recap all the games and watch everything myself. There was a lot to take in yesterday. Normally I'm bouncing around, but we had that Miami game going, and everything was just lighting up. So I was kind of hyper focused on a few games, but there's not much out there because guys are really becoming heavily rostered at this point. I'm seeing that a lot this year. A lot of guys that I would go to look to for waivers are already 80-90% rostered. So going to have to dig out some gems here for you over the next couple of days, or not the next couple of days, but the next day, so you can get them in for tomorrow.
I will say, Tony, real quick to interrupt you. A-Chain is only 35% rostered, and Sam Laporta, who both had huge days.
Depends on the platform. So, because I was looking around, he is like 93% rostered in some platforms. If A-Chain's out there, go get him.
Start of the season, week 1, 35%. Didn't know if he was even going to fucking play week 1. Now he's absolute stud, dude. Holy shit.
The problem there, though, Sammer, and I did want to touch on that with Tony, is I think that backfield's going to be a mess. It's going to be a mess, dude. And as hyped as I am, as hyped as I am for A-Chain, bro, Jeff Wilson's coming back. Mostert still had a great game, and he's the starter. You don't know what's going to happen week to week, bro. It reminds me of like the Niners, where you didn't know in New England. Mm-hmm. Like you don't know who's going to go off. You could start A-Chain next week, and he might not do shit. And then
what's funny,
might go off.
It's funny is that Jeff Wilson is from that Niners team that had that problem like 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah. I believe Mostert
played out there too. Yeah.
So and then all of a sudden you got this A-Chain guy, and it's up and down. Mostert, but when he's in there, dude, they're dynamic. But all three of them,
he's different, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, McDaniels right now in his absolute bag. Like he can call almost anything, and it is working. He's having fun. I think they called that no-look pass twice yesterday. The no-look shovel.
This whole speed-first offense is looking crazy. Really unstoppable. I mean, this is like, remember the first year of Chip Kelly's offense when no one had it figured out yet? This is like that Chip Kelly 2.0 type of thing.
The Niners.
I'm really loving it. It's so fun to watch.
It is a lot of fun to watch, dude. Tony, I touched on it there, 44% rostered. What are your thoughts rest of the season on Laporta there? I drafted him early. I knew he was going to get a lot of targets because Jameson was out. Now they lost their second target. What are you and Reynolds banged up a little with the hamstring, and they lost the Montgomery and stuff. So I did not expect that kind of breakout this early in the season. I mean, what was it? 8 catches?
I've been calling it, man. Every single week so far, I've been saying pick this kid up because he's his snap count. He's out there the whole game. He seems to, even at his age, just coming in rookie season, he seems to make good decisions. Tight end isn't the easiest position to play. There's a lot to know. Not only to protect your quarterback, but there's a lot of option routes when depends on the coverage that they have to know where to go, where to be. And I think as that chemistry grows with Goff, we're going to see even more out of Laporta. So yeah, absolutely. If he's available in your league, excuse me, I would drop quite a few.
The other thing you mentioned,
pieces to pick him up
as a rookie, he's also learning blocking schemes. He's a two-way tight end, so he's got a lot of stuff on his plate. But hey, man, if he's out there like you're saying, dude, and there's targets are only going to get more and more plentiful as guys around him are dropping. Hell yeah! I think we highlighted him week 1. We highlighted him week 1. Pick him up before he blows up. So
pretty much.
Go ahead, Tony.
We had pretty much no usage out of what's his name, Craig Reynolds, which everybody kind of looked at as a waiver wire. We told you don't pick him up. Gibbs got some more work, and it's going to continue. And I think we're going to see this offense run through these young guys, and it's working. Detroit's getting it done.
They are. What I was going to say was I like the type of targets that Laporta was getting. Right, it wasn't like dump offs or like he leaked out and it was an exit or a valve for the quarterback. They're designing some of these plays for him, and I love to see that. Let's go.
They're playing smart football.
Yeah. Speaking of Detroit, that brings us to our Thursday Night Football preview. Detroit, Green Bay. Obviously, really historic matchup. It's always fun to watch. This could be a blowout. It could be a close one. It could be a back and forth. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. I haven't really been able to absorb a lot. But
what's the line on that game? I'm going to look it up. We're talking.
what you think of that coming up, Tony, in terms of who you think people should absolutely circle on their list on either of these two teams coming up on Thursday night.
Well, I mentioned last week about Jordan Love. I think he looked better this week. Still made a few mistakes, but we did see a rushing touchdown. We saw him get out and run a little bit. That's going to help out a lot. That tends to kind of negate those rookie mistakes that you see. He's not a rookie, but first year starter.
Yeah.
And like I said, he should be getting his pieces back. So after watching yesterday and seeing what he did without his number one wideout, his number one running back, I'm liking him a little bit more. The first 2 weeks of the season, there was a lot of touchdowns. We had some short field situations, and it kind of padded the box, or padded his fantasy score. So I needed to see some more production either through the air or on the ground, and not just touchdowns. And we saw that a little bit. So I'm feeling better about it. I do have him as a possible streamer. If you're in a pinch, if you need, if you're down Derek Carr, we don't know how long that situation is going to be. They're talking it may not be too serious, but yeah, he's an option. Excuse me.
I like it. Right now, Detroit favored by 1.5. By the way, it's Detroit favored by 1.5. I like Jordan Love. I started this week. He gave me 27 points. I agree with Tony. His stats were a little bit padded by touchdowns with short fields the first 2 weeks, but he came through and accounted, man. And like Tony said, he's missing his number one option. Missing his running back, who's probably the second option because he loved throwing the ball to Aaron Jones, PPR machine. So he's missing his best two weapons, and he missed one yesterday. Tony, I don't know if you guys watched that game or not, but
he missed wide open.
Right, a post right over the middle, dude. Split the safeties. He overthrew him by maybe 2 yards, right, Sam? If you recall, beautiful ball,
just right up the seam. Split the cover two coverage.
It's a touchdown.
Perfect. He just overthrew. I think he put too much mustard on that bad boy. Should have lofted a little bit. But I was going to ask you guys, now that it feels like they purposely rested Aaron Jones, trying to give him kind of a week and a half lead up to this Thursday night game. Is this the week, if you're a fantasy owner of Aaron Jones, is this the week you put him in and you depend on him, or do you hold back to see exactly where he's at, or do you think they've kind of done that for you as a team? How do you approach that? Because I have him, and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing this Thursday.
I have him as well, Sammer, and I agree with you. I mean, from all reports, we heard from Ian Rappaport and Schefter and all the connected sources, right? The Aaron Jones was probably close. He probably could have played. But because they had the Thursday night game, they said, you know what? We can beat the Saints without him. And they did.
No, I agree with that. I like that idea. Oh, hell yeah.
No,
yes.
But
I agree.
I think
it sounded like he was close last week.
I think they fired both of them up on Thursday. I think you see Christian Watson and Aaron Jones. And if you have Aaron Jones, Sammer, like I do, and they start him, you got to fire him up, bro. There's nobody in the backfield that's going to compete with him. Not Dylan, not Taylor. Watson, on the other hand, though, Tony, I'll let you go. That might be concerning. They might have him on a pitch count. He suffers with those notoriously, and it looks like it was a bad one because, I mean, this is 3 weeks in and he's still not playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to touch on that. He is one that I might keep an eye on. We'll let you know how his practices go throughout the week, if he's still limited. I do feel good about his workload once he gets back because I think all those targets, if you guys noticed in the beginning of the game, it seemed like they were kind of super targeting the rookie, Jalen Reed.
Yeah.
There to start. It was like, those are Watson's targets, downfield. So again, I think if once all the weapons come back, this could be a good game. Hopefully they're all back. I'd like to see him firing on all cylinders for a division game against the Lions. And the Lions, like I said, are playing smart ball. So they're going to come out and they're going to, I think, kind of go with that old New England Patriots method of like, we're just going to stay the course and let them make mistakes. I really don't think they need to push too hard. They just got to keep the ball moving and just not let Lambeau get a hold of him. Yeah.
Who are you starting on the? We talked a lot about the Packers side. Who are we starting if we're on the Lions here? Is it just basically Gibbs, Goff, and maybe this Laporta kid?
Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra.
Oh yeah, Amon-Ra, obviously.
Yeah, who actually came out and played pretty well, even though his foot was in question.
I didn't think he was going to play. So I saw him on the stand. I was like, what? Well, okay, cool. Great. Didn't like that for people who own Gibbs, but oh well.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions, Green Bay. Jared Goff he's a monster at home. On the road, not so much. In Green Bay, that atmosphere, prime time. I'm probably not going to fire up Jared Goff this week. Of course, we're going to do an episode before. It'll drop on Thursday. Just be on the lookout on our Twitter account. If if there are better options, we'll post them.
You really wouldn't play him because I thought the Saints had guys wide open, running against the defense of the Packers. They just either couldn't get the ball there or they actually did get the ball there, especially in the first 3 quarters when they were up 17-0. But is Goff really not a play? I feel like it's a division game. He could show up, but I don't know. I'm asking you guys.
I'm not saying he's not a player. I just think there might be better options. And notoriously, he's not good on the road. He's good in that dome at home. He likes sleeping in his own bed.
I don't remember what the split is from last year, but yeah, he definitely, it's
lopsided.
We'll take a look though. I mean, there might be some options this week to stream, and we'll let you know, like Poppy said.
Tony, you mentioned Reed. Is Reed because it was lean on the waiver wire? Is Reed one that's worth taking a look at there? He got some targets. He dropped some balls early, but he looked good in the second half. He was part of the reason they won. He caught a big time catch down the sideline in the fourth quarter. Is he worth picking up in a deep league or in a dynasty league and just hold up?
I think he's worth a stash. A dynasty league, definitely. Definitely seen enough usage out of him already that he's worth a stash in dynasty. And not the greatest showing this week, but look good last week. So yeah, I mean, if you got a spot at the end of your bench, you want to stick him there. But again, Watson comes back, he may become relevant. Who knows? I would, yeah. I mean, there is a couple of guys that have been in that category for me. Josh Downs had a good week this week, and that was without Richardson. Joshua Palmer is going to get more targets now with Williams out.
Go pick up Quentin Johnson. I'm telling you, if you guys
he's pretty heavily rostered too.
If he's out there, or if you could trade for him or anything. If you watched any of training I mean, they were connecting all training camp, and then
he's a big boy.
Fast.
After tonight's game, you're gonna all want to pick up one Baker Mayfield. Right. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it, okay? But in regards to all your other guys that you're talking about, Tony, we will just keep you all abreast on the situation as things develop.
Love it.
Because it's early here. That's what we do here at Tuddies.
Still haven't gotten practice reports for today yet, so it is early. We'll let you know.
Yep. Hey, listen, this was our Week 3 recap. If you guys want to see more of this.
Real quick, who's winning the game, Sammer? You going Green Bay or Detroit?
Oh, Green Bay, Detroit. Green Bay at home just came off of a massive come-from-behind victory against the Saints. I'll take the Lions on the road, baby.
With a complete opposite. I'm going to say Jordan Love gets his weapons back. Aaron Jones comes back. Christian Watson's come back at home. Thursday Night Football. Lambeau's on fire. They're going to win the game. Goff is going to look human. He's going to melt a little bit under the lights. Tony?
I think I'm going to go Detroit as well.
Okay. Write these down in the comments for us. We got to keep this.
I got a feeling that they're going to lean on Gibbs. They're going to turn this into an Alabama SEC kind of slugfest in the actual grass. It's going to be
down with that.
Detroit, bro. I'm telling you. I interrupted you, Tony. I'm not sure why you're picking Detroit. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm just picking Detroit because I think they're getting coached really well right now. They're managing the game really well, and I think that if they can get out there and get a lead on Green Bay early, I think they are able to hold that lead and just kind of chew up possession. And it's
good pass rush. They have a good pass rush. That's usually pass rush travels. We talk about it all the time, Latte, on our show with the Bucs. Pass rush travels, and hey, as long as you get an 18-point lead on the Packers, you should be safe. So,
Ooh, still firing shots.
Sorry, New Orleans. Hey, this was the this was the Big Tuddies Fantasy Football Podcast, Week 3 reaction. If you guys like what you watch and hear, obviously, if you're listening to us on the audio side, check us out on YouTube. We look beautiful, especially myself. No offense to you, Tony and Latte. We know how the tiers work around here. But also, if you are watching, hit us with a like, hit the subscribe button, and of course, leave us a comment. Next show, we usually try to help you out with your lineup. So if you have any questions, don't know who to start, who to sit, injuries, or got you confused, I mean, I'm leaning on Tony every single weekend. No joke. I'm texting this guy at 5 a.m. on Sunday morning what I should do and shouldn't do. He's not getting back to me in a timely manner. We're going to talk about that off the air. But I'm still leaning on him, and I'm leaning on Latte. You guys should too. It's the...
Is that cheating? Is that cheating, by the way? Is that cheating? If you're consulting someone else to run your team, is that cheating, Tony? Is that cheating?
It's not cheating. It's not
that
cheating.
collusion. It's not collusion. It's not part of the same league.
That's consultation. He's not in the league. Obviously, he wouldn't help me if he was in the same league, right? But this is using my resources.
You're just consultation. That's allowed, okay? You're seeking legal counsel. I understand, okay? You're seeking
fantasy counsel. And he's paying me in crypto, so it's not even like a true
real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm paying you in whatever those designs are that people are paying money for that don't actually aren't worth anything anymore.
My God, Sam.
Oh, the NFTs.
God, Sam.
NFTs.
You remember the guy that gave the football back to Tom Brady that Mike Evans threw in the crowd, and what he got back was an NFT from Brady.
He got a lot more though, didn't he?
He got Bitcoin too. He got Bitcoin.
He got Bitcoin, but it wasn't nothing, nowhere near what the ball was worth. And he got a signed helmet by Mike Evans, a signed jersey.
He got Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still worth. Bitcoin is still worth. NFTs are the ones that are worth $5 now. That's totally different. But yes, Tom Brady did have an NFT company. We all know that. So hey, Monday Night Football, go Bucks!
Brady's coming back to the Jets. He's broke.
No, he's not.